To build the physical layer of the repository, you perform the following steps. Create a new repository, import metadata, verify connection, create aliases, and create physical keys and joins. Locate the Business Intelligence Administration tool icon on your desktop after you perform your installation. So go ahead and double click the icon that I placed as a shortcut to that path. Now to create a new repository, select File, New Repository, then enter a name for the repository and then you choose the password. For this lab you will choose the password admin123 and the first letter of your password is uppercase so that it meets Oracle password requirements. Then the next step is to click Next. Once you get to the connection type, what you want to do is you want to change the connection type to OCI 10G 11G because we have an Oracle database installed. Then you will type in ORCL, which is a shortcut for Oracle, which we are using as a default password. Then we created a user in your database at the time of installation of this software, and the user was Paint. So we're going to use Paint to connect to the database, which is the username. And again, the password will be the same. It's admin123. And once we are satisfied that we have entered everything correctly, then we'll click Next. Give it a second. Then what we want to do is on the screen that asks us to select the metadata types, we want to leave all the different pre-selected checkboxes for us as they are. We want the tables, we want the keys, and we want the foreign keys. We'll go ahead and just click Next. Now in the data source view, locate Paint and expand Paint. Then in Paint, we want to locate Fact, and then the connection type window comes up. Accept all defaults and click OK. At this point, we can expand the repository view and make sure that all the different tables that we want from this view are all selected. We wanted market, fact, product, and time D. And then go ahead and click Finish. Expand ORCL and then expand Paint. This will confirm that all the 4 tables have been imported into the physical layer of the repository. At this point, we do not have any rows updated in any of these tables. Only the structures and the metadata have been imported. So we want to update the data into these tables. So to do that, you will go to Tools and then choose the first option, Update All Row Counts. Once you've selected the Update Row Counts, we'll go back and hover over these tables and see if there are any rows that have been updated. 1,272 rows, 46 rows, 74 rows, and 4,288 rows. So our updating of row count verifies that the connection was successful and all the data has been brought into the physical layer. Now to view sample data in any one of these tables, all you have to do is you will select any one of the tables, right click on it, and then you select the option View Data. This kind of shows you what are the contents of the market table with all the different markets, the keys, and data that's contained therein. And you can close it. The next step is to create aliases. It is recommended that you use table aliases frequently in the physical layer to eliminate extraneous joins and to include best practice naming conventions for physical table names. We'll go ahead and create the first alias, and we'll also show you the naming convention. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and right click on the time D table, the new object, then alias. Then you go ahead and name this as D2 time D. In the description field, enter time dimension alias at day grain stores one record each day. This helps us remember what this time dimension table is all about. Next, we'll click the columns tab. Note that the alias tables inherits all column definitions from the source table. Repeat the steps and create the aliases for the remaining tables. So we'll click on product, new object, alias, name this D3, product team, then we click OK. Go ahead and do the same for market, new object, alias, D4, market, underscore team, click OK. And finally, go ahead and create an alias for fact table, and we'll call this F1 fact underscore FCT, and we'll click OK. And we want to select them all at the same time. You can achieve this goal by clicking one of the alias tables and then holding the shift key down, and then go ahead and click the first table in the list. Then you right click on the selection, then go to physical diagram, then select objects and all joins. At this point, what we want to achieve is we want to create joins between the different fact tables as well as the dimension tables. So to do that, we will go ahead and activate the new join. So to create a join, you start from the fact to the dimension table, and then what you want to do is you want to make sure that the key in the time dimension table maps to the same exact key in the fact table. So this is period key, so I will also look for a period key. Period key, as you will see here in the expression, period key on the D2 time dimension table is the same as a period key in the F1 fact table. And click OK. Go ahead and do the same. Product. So we want the product key here, product key. Then we'll also look for a product key on the fact side. Product key. Then we'll go ahead and click OK. And finally, we'll do the same for market. Look for market key and also locate the market key and click OK. So once that has been done, the next step is to perform an auto layout. So we'll go to the tools bar and select this option and click it, and then we can collapse all the tables so we can see them, and we can also zoom in. You'll notice this is what forms a star, and this is basically what is known as a star schema. And you can close this window and then click save. And do you wish to check global consistency? At this point we will say no. And that is how you create a physical layer and the aliases and the different objects that we'll be using in the rest of this class.